doing, Parlay Pete?
We are doing fantastic. How are we doing today, Lee?
Man, not too bad. Not gonna lie to you. I should have talked to you about. I should have had multiple conversations about this a while back. Had a potential sponsor conversation.
Okay.
I was sitting here drinking this here Budweiser, and I was like, "How dope would it be for us to be like this show brought to you by Bud Heavy?" You know?
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh shit." My cousin did talk to me about a sponsorship for his accounting company.
I don't see why not.
And he listens to the show. So like we're in a group text. My bad, dog.
Sounds like a match made in heaven. This sounds like something that should have been in pre-production, though.
It definitely is. But I had the thought and I didn't want to lose it. So instead I opened with it. Sorry guys for talking behind the scenes business to open up a show. That's so tacky of me.
It's very tacky of you.
Probably as tacky as this jersey I have on, huh?
I don't think there's anything tacky about that. Isn't that the most popular Falcon of all time? Yeah, I could be wrong. I think people think he is.
Some would say maybe the most impactful Falcon of all time.
Maybe.
Some might even say the best at his position of all time.
Hey. Guess it depends on what football you like to watch, winning or, just exciting plays or, you know how that stuff goes.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to put on a Falcons quarterback jersey today because we are back to reality, back to life, back to reality, And this is the only Falcons quarterback jersey that has ever graced my body.
Yes.
For many reasons. And Matt Ryan, me not wearing your jersey has nothing to do with fandom. It's much worse, and I won't tell you why.
Is it because he's white?
No.
So then what would you say the reason is? If it's much worse, how could it be worse? If it's not that, it can't really be that. It can't be worse, I guess is what I'm saying.
Or maybe it's just something I don't feel comfortable discussing.
I thought that this was the Wash and Winning podcast. When did we start not being comfortable talking about things?
Well, when I had to place a boundary to protect my peace.
Okay. I won't take it any further than that.
Hey, I didn't do this on purpose, but do you see how awkward that is to actually say to somebody in a conversation?
Say what?
I put up a boundary to protect my peace.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's 2026, Lee. That's the world that we live in.
Unfortunately.
The world we live in.
Yeah, it is. And yes, it's okay to put up boundaries and protect your peace, but there are ways to communicate that are just more conversational and don't make things awkward and weird and just be like, hey, I don't want to talk about that.
It's a direct cutoff of it without any type of explanation, which is why the explanation was asked to begin with, because it's like, well, I want to understand.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm trying to get to know you better. Understand what's going on in your brain, but you are putting up a boundary. Can I be a moderator? What do you look like? What are your skills? Have you moderated before? We're definitely looking for a moderator. But if we're being honest, we're looking for a woman that to moderate the show, and Nora definitely comes off as a woman. And we're looking for a nice-looking woman who knows her stuff.
Translation: do you have a fat ass and a nice face or big titties?
No.
That's really what you ask when you start.
You don't have to have all of those things. We're just looking for a nice-looking, smart woman to help keep us on track. Yeah, so hey, so hit me on _C_2 on Instagram.
This is funny to me, but
yeah,
thank you for the comments and viewing, Nora.
Yeah. I should probably hit us, leave your IG or something in the comments so we can reach out to you and see if we can get something arranged.
Nonetheless,
buddy.
Yeah, Falcons first, huh?
Yeah.
We are all here
The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah. Obviously, we spoke about last week being in that because last week was our first show of the year, right? So, naturally, with the NFL season progressing, now you get into interviews and hold on a second.
No, we don't need all of that.
Yeah,
Not that kind
just
of party.
just drop your Instagram, or I guess Lee gave you his DM him, whatever. We'll do it from there.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, yeah, you got the Atlanta Falcons making a big move. We officially made Matt Ryan the team president. Our president of football operations, I guess, is actually what the title actually is. It's not team president; it's football operations. And I think this was the step. This was something that we knew that was inevitable, and that we knew was going to be coming. And hold on one second. Okay. We knew that this was coming, and basically, I guess the idea of bringing back the prodigal son to the organization that he feels like he let down, that in my opinion, I think that it eats at him that he did not get that Super Bowl. And obviously everybody likes to talk about it, and that's kind of his lasting legacy, which it really shouldn't be, but that is kind of what people think of when they see him. We bring him back to basically be the decision maker, right? And I think that my favorite part of bringing him back is now we know the structure of the organization. It's always been kind of a question of, well, whose decision was this? Does that not kind of feel like what it's been over the past 5 or 6 years? Who made this decision? Who drafted Kyle Pitts? Who traded this pick? Who decided to pay Cousins but also draft Penix? Who's the decision maker? I think bringing Matt Ryan into this capacity, we now know who the decision maker is.
He sets the culture.
Exactly. And there's going to be collaborative effort, of course. So whoever the GM and coach are, we know that they're going to have their hands on it. But now we have somebody to point the finger at and say, it was Matt Ryan's decision.
Fire him. He's the problem.
Fire him or give him his flowers. Say, man, he's doing a hell of a job. He should be executive of the year or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We will have these answers. And so I can't think of anyone that would have been a better Falcon to bring in to do this job than him. And then the fact that he's not that far removed from the game is another thing. And then the idea that, you know, a lot of people consider the Falcons job being the most attractive job. This idea that we've got somebody that's coming in that played the quarterback position, so leader on the team, certainly knows how to take the scrutiny, but also knows how to take the praise. And then, of course, that being the one thing that a lot of people look at the Falcons and say, if there's an issue with that job, that is the issue right now. It's quarterback, right? That would be what some people would say. I am still on the Penix bandwagon. I don't think that I can't give up on him yet. I don't understand why everybody's saying that. Injury is a concern, obviously, because it's the third ACL injury in 5 years. But I'm not off the bandwagon on it yet. Like, I don't understand why some people are like, they don't have a quarterback. It's like, we don't know we don't have a quarterback, you know? But obviously very excited about him getting ready to lead the franchise. And then we've got head coaching interview coming up.
Hold on. Let's just stay here on Matt first.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead, Lee. What are your thoughts on this?
I like it and I don't. I'm okay with it. I'm cautiously optimistic. He doesn't have experience in the front office. He's never built a team. He's never had to lead an entire football operation. So that is concerning. But we'll see when he starts to make the staff hires. He has to hire a GM. He has to hire a coach. And that's going to tell us a lot. I'm hoping that we go experienced to help Matt learn how to be a president of football operations, while also, but someone young enough to collaborate properly with the vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my biggest concern, and it's not even a real concern, it's we bring a big piece of the stench of 28-3 back into the building.
I mean,
and I know it's in a different capacity, and that this is fan talking. This is not person who tries to sound like he knows what he's talking about on Wednesdays.
Right.
This is just fan talk. Like, dang, man. As soon as we get rid of Ra, 28-3 guy, we bring in Matt, a 28-3 guy. Yeah, leave your Instagram in the comments.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get done here, Nora. If you're very serious about it, just she says she doesn't have an Instagram or whatever, but
yeah, if you don't have Instagram, you can't be the moderator. I'm sorry. I'm prone to believe you're a bot or something. We appreciate the engagement.
Yeah.
You have Facebook?
Right. Something like that.
Back to the show, man.
Yeah. I didn't want to not answer because it's like blowing up the comments. So
nice guy.
Hey, I try to be.
But yeah, it all comes down to the hires for me on a serious note. And I guess that takes us to our head coaching vacancy.
Which then I'm going to double back on you here with the head coaching vacancy. Then why would we want LaFleur in there if there's 28-3 stench on him too? And hell, he's coming off of a blown lead in a playoff game, right? So
yes, winning percentage to start a career.
I'm with you. He's a damn wizard. You know, he's as close to I think Shanahan as McVay, obviously, but he's a top 5 play caller in the game, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. And Ben Johnson is good. And Caleb Williams starting to do that shit he did at USC in the NFL at a high level. Jordan Love could never be that.
Jordan Love threw 5 touchdown passes. Or no, 4 touchdown passes in that game.
Yeah, I know. He
nothing to sneeze at, I guess is all I'm saying.
No. It was nothing to sneeze at, but the plays that Caleb was making.
Right.
It just looked like you understand why Caleb was a number 1 overall pick.
Yes, that, and then let's just, one of the things I hated about what LaFleur did, and I know we're going to get to the playoffs, but one of the things that I hated about what he did specifically in that game was he took his foot off the gas, and they did keep running the ball. They weren't getting any results running it. But every time they threw it, they literally got results. And it's just kind of like, hey, just don't run the ball then. I mean, they're not stopping you from passing it. So let's stop having these empty possessions of run it up the middle on 1st and 2nd down, then try and make a throw on 3rd down, and hopefully we can move the chains because you're giving them that momentum that they need. You already missed the kick on the way into the half. And it just, I don't know, there was a little bit about that I didn't like. But at the end of the day, players play coach's coach. So
it's a tough spot, man, because you got to eat time too. And what's that balance when the run game isn't going? Because a run play still helps you, even when you get a yard. It may be it may be the toughest coaching spot to be in, especially in a big moment.
Having a lead,
a big lead.
Yeah.
If you're up, if you're up 2 scores, you're up 10 steadily, it's easy to maintain that, make it 17, make it 24. You know what I mean? But when you make it 21-17 early, it's hard to maintain those margins because you want to eat clock. You don't want to take chances, but you also need to run your offense so you don't become so damn predictable.
And then stagnant too to go along with it, but which is what happened with them. Yeah.
Who do you want us to hire? Like out of what's available today?
Harbaugh. I want Harbaugh. Now, with the caveat of knowing, is Monken going to be the OC? Do we get to keep Brick? Because obviously, I think the CEO coach is not exactly what I want, but I think for the culture of the organization, it's exactly what you want. you know that you're going to be a contender next year. Well, maybe not a contender. You're going to be a contender because you're going to be a playoff team. To me, that's what you get with Harbaugh. He's the best coach available. He's the only. I mean, I guess McCarthy is there too. Outside of McCarthy, he's the only other Super Bowl winning coach that's available that we know of that is directly available. Because Pete Carroll's not. We're not hiring him.
No.
Bill is in Chapel Hill.
Bill's not coming to Atlanta. We played with him once before.
Yeah. Well, man, I think. Kenny. Wow, that was a little crazy. I want Harbaugh. That's who I want. And then as option B, of course, Stefanski, based on what's available, what we know is available.
No day ball for you?
No, not to be the head man. No, I think that he's got to put in another year of OC-ship. How is it that people think that the Giants job is just as good, if not the second best job to the Falcons job, but he just had it and this would happen? So it's like, no, he's got to put his lumps in. He'll be a great OC for the Eagles. He'd be a great OC for the Chiefs.
This is where the media really shows their ass. When we're in the coaching cycle and they're bigging up a job and they're bigging up a candidate, but that candidate got fired from that job.
Yeah.
And it was a shit show. I think Jackson Dart lived in concussion protocol, bro.
Hey, look, he didn't want him to live in there. That's why he got his ass out there once Russ threw that incomplete pass. He didn't want him to live there. He just did.
I mean, his play call say otherwise.
Well, I call it reckless abandonment because that's the way that Jackson Dart likes to play.
You know, coaches are supposed to, protect players from themselves and get the best out of them.
Yeah, but if you're a quarterback and you don't see anything because you don't have any receivers that can get separation except Wan'Dale Robinson, you can't throw it away every play. You got to make something happen.
Get you in the blue tent.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. And, I don't think Jackson Dart necessarily wanted to be a runner as much as he was this year. But if you remember, there was a game against Minnesota this year where he only threw the ball 3 times in the first half, and that's with Kafka or whatever his name as the head coach. But he's running to that bitch a lot. That's for sure.
But no, of what's available, for me, it'll be Harbaugh and Stefanski. I've got some worries about Stefanski. I know that he can coach, but I do think he wants to coach who he wants to coach, not who he has to coach.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be problematic because I want a coach who wants to get his guys in, don't get me wrong. But I also want a coach who coaches his players.
Yeah.
If they play for said roster, Atlanta Falcons, I want my coach to coach the hell out of them and want what's best for them, no matter who they are. And I say that to say Deshaun Watson looked the worst he's ever looked in his life in Cleveland. And then the day Stefanski gets fired, the report comes out, Stefanski didn't want Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
In a vacuum, you're like, okay, this means nothing. But then Flacco lights it up. Again, maybe it's Flacco. I don't know. But, I don't know. I'm not football smart enough to say what the play calling was, right? And I'm not going to trust anybody to break it down to look for certain things like that. But then you have Shador, who's behind Dylan Gabriel. And it's clear and obvious that Shador looked better in the NFL than Dylan Gabriel. He looked better in college. But, it was clear and obvious in the NFL once Shador got to play. And, again, I was the guy who said maybe Dylan Gabriel looks better in practice. Maybe should, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we know he didn't want Shador, and it starts to be like, and shit, he ran Baker off too,
Yeah.
It's like, Kevin Stefanski, there are players who, Deshaun looked good before he got to you. Baker has looked better since he left you.
Yep.
I don't know how Dylan Gabriel was above Shador outside of him being drafted earlier, but when they're both rookies, it doesn't fucking matter. You let them just bump heads.
Well, and that's where this question comes in too. Now, the reason why Stefanski is over McDaniels for me is because I feel like he's had to go through more adversity. And I would want to deal with a coach that's gone through that. I mean, I want you to think about it. Obviously, we do have an injury-prone quarterback. Stefanski's dealt with it before.
Yeah.
He's schemed and game planned with it before. And McDaniels has had to do it too, but with no success. When Tua went out last year, when he was throwing up gang signs and shit after he's getting hit, the Dolphins, and it could be obviously the talent at the position, Dolphins they fell apart. So I think McDaniels is low-key a better play caller than Stefanski, if I'm being honest.
McDaniels is an OC. That's his life.
But they're predicting that the Browns that the Browns are going to be the ones that hire him. That's the prediction right now. They're like I tell you, he's the betting favorite in Vegas to get the job, and he's even money, Lee. That's a pretty strong indicator. Why does Vegas have him as even money? That's crazy.
Do you think
it's almost like it's a shoe-in?
Do you think he's a good cold weather coach?
No, but I mean, he also played with a warm weather team. His scheme, look, he comes from the Shanahan tree, right? So like they have that zone scheme running. I mean, you benefited from it in fantasy this year, having the best record in our league, and he was your best player, was their running back, right? So, I think that he can do it, and you got to remember too that division. It's basically a changing of the guards. I mean, Zach Taylor is the senior coach in the division. I mean, who would have thought, right?
Continuity used to mean something.
Yeah, I know, and that's why he's still there. Zach Robinson, that is. It's all about that continuity.
Oh, Zach Robinson's cooked.
You don't think that they can take advantage of what's certainly be a down year in Pittsburgh, I think, coming up this next year. And the Ravens, that's a roster that's aging and kind of in flux as far as I'm concerned, but they'll be the favorite. You don't think that the Bengals can take advantage of that? This would not be the best year for them to do that this upcoming season?
I don't trust them as an organization.
Yeah, because they got Mr. Cheapskate, right? Is that what it is?
Joe Burrow doesn't seem like he wants to be there. He seems like he's in his Carson Palmer shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that place sucks souls out of superstars. You know what I mean? Like Andy Dalton was happy to be there.
Andy Dalton was happy because he immediately got to start, and he had AJ Green to go through it with him, which is that's a hell of a receiving option to basically grow together with.
The best years of the Bengals in recent history, for being honest. Like I know they had the back-to-back, the Super Bowl, then
and the AFC Championship, yeah.
Yeah, but like Marvin Lewis had a consistent winner there.
He did. He's Mike Smith light.
Mr. One and done, but hey, he's gonna get you there.
Hey, you get a chance to be done.
Yeah.
So,
but back to the Falcons. Stefanski, if he likes our players, behind Harbaugh. After that, if we ain't calling Mike McCarthy, if Mike Tomlin or LaFleur don't get let go for cheap, and hold on, yeah, well, the coordinator guys.
I was about to say, and that's exactly what I was going to ask you, because obviously everybody keeps linking Kubiak to us, and I didn't even realize this. That Clint Kubiak was he was in the Falcons organization at one point.
Not shocked.
Yeah. Arthur's cut him a check before, and so
of the coordinators, I would prefer him, but I don't want a coordinator.
Me neither. We're on the same page there. We need somebody that has had success as a head coach in the NFL.
We need a Dan Reeves,
which is, to me, is exactly what John could kind of be. I mean, obviously John's won a Super Bowl, but that to me is what John would be. He would be a Dan Reeves.
A consistent winner that brings a culture.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal.
and has something to prove.
I'm gonna steal Mike Tomlin's thing. The standard is a standard. I think that's gonna be something I operate with professionally.
The standard
But
is the standard.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, probably, Pete. And speaking of Coach Tomlin, who stepped down, resigned, we'll talk about that. And LaFleur, who's in he's in contract negotiations. And long story short, Green Bay's telling everybody, hey, we're not going to resign this guy. Come get him. Don't let him become a free agent. Bro, can we just honor contracts? Do we have to squeeze every cent out of every fucking dollar? Like no, not even cents out of dollars. These guys are taking cents out of billions.
That's not the American way,
bro.
He's still under contract. If he doesn't want to be there, he doesn't want to agree to our extension. Well, then we're not going to let him walk for free. I'm not mad at that approach. I just think that actually I am mad at that approach, but it makes sense, I guess is all I'm saying. But my thought is that you're not going to the president has already said that he doesn't like to go into a season on a lame duck year with 1 year. So to me, it's either work out the extension or fire him. That's why I don't understand why the trade thing.
And see,
because then what if everybody says fuck you on the trade, and then now you're stuck with them? So now what are you going to do? Like,
and that's my thing. You're trying to get fucking pennies out of a billion. Hey, if you don't want the guy to be here in the future, fucking fire him or let him coach out his contract.
All right.
Don't make me a pawn in your game just because, hey, you don't want me no more. Cool. Respect my contract. Like, if I'm LaFleur, I'm like, hey, man, I'm not signing an extension if you trade me.
And yeah, which is another thing, too, because then it's like, well, what if he doesn't want to coach there? You'd have to find somebody that literally wants him and the only place that he would want to go. And then at that point, because he knows he's coming into an organization where you're trying to handicap them of a pick. What type of compensation do you want? And obviously, in years past, we've seen first-round picks get swung, which nobody's giving up a first-round pick.
And if I'm LaFleur, I'm telling the team that I want to go to, I'll be there next year. Don't trade this pick.
So you want them to?
If I'm LaFleur, I'm going to try to strong arm back because this does not need to become the precedent. You know what I mean? Like with Mike Tomlin. Cool.
Yeah, what's up, Vol?
Oh, what's up? Oh, my bad. I don't have my glasses.
That's what that says there.
Yeah, like I didn't have my glasses on. I thought that said WAP, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm good. Yes,
Fifth River, if you listen in a little bit, we're going to actually get into the playoffs. Just stick with us. We're just trying to go through the Falcons here real quick.
And what was I talking about, man?
You're talking about LaFleur and squeezing pennies out of a billion.
Oh yeah, and even with like Mike Tomlin, right? It's like, hey, he resigned, so they still own his rights for X, Y, and Z. Period. All right,
let the nigga go.
Yeah, you don't want me here. That's why he resigned. They let him resign, so it looks like it's his decision. But
nah, because they could have just fired him.
Yeah, fire me. Don't try to stop me from moving on to where I want to go without damaging them. I understand it's competitive amongst you owners in the league. But at some point, labor has to stand up for themselves.
No, I 100% agree with you. And maybe that's something I'm sure that they've had in discussion, because we always talk about the Players Association. We never talk about, well, what is the coaches?
You said we only talk about the who?
The NFLPA, right? Like,
oh, that you mean the owners union.
Well, I'm just curious as to how it works with the coaches, because I'm sure that they have their own union, but nobody really ever talks about how the coaches, how does that work? Well,
we got rid of, ESPN, the magazine. We got rid of, a lot of the written stuff and journalists, You think that's sexy? You think Steve could talk about the coaches union for 20 minutes?
No. I don't think that Steve can talk about anything but Charlie Kirk catching footballs.
Let's look at his Twitter search.
Yeah. Oh.
His YouTube
algorithm. Let's look at his likes. That's what I want to see. But
now Steve doesn't like He sends DMs.
Well, he's got to catch their eye some way.
Yeah, he's discreet.
You
Maybe
think
he
he
sends
you
a
think he
guy.
sends you think he sends the NDA with the DM? No.
I think Stephen A. probably has somebody do his DMing for him.
So you think he's got an assistant that works for him around the clock? Because it's not going on while he's on TV. So that assistant wouldn't.
I
You
think
think you think he has it like almost like a publicist or something?
I think Stephen A. And I don't know the guy. I've never seen him in person. I just don't like the way he speaks.
You never seen Steve in person?
No. I think that Steve over insulates himself with staff, so that when you see Steve, you have to deal with his staff. Like I can see Steve showing up to ESPN LA with security.
Yeah.
It's like, nigga, this is LA. You know how many rich and famous people live here and just get in their cars and go to work or wherever the fuck they have to go?
Yeah, there's plenty. But again, Steve likes to make it about him, right? I mean, I think we talked about that in the past on this show. But fuck Steve first. Let's finish up this Falcons first.
I'm done with the Falcons. I just care about the hires.
Well, it's looking like, obviously, like I said, we got this trio of what we're hoping is Matt Ryan. It sounds like Ian Cunningham, which it sounds like he's regarded highly in the Bears organization and around the league.
Hey, Ryan Poles, put some respect on his name, dog.
Hey, and another thing, real quick before we hop off of this, pause, is
Kung Fu Kenny.
Yeah, of course. Is I think that's what gives us slightly an edge with Harbaugh, outside of the fact that, I don't know, we're so much more fucking talented than the Giants, is you get to come in with Matt Ryan and whoever the GM is going to be. Everybody's on the same page. With the Giants, they still got Shane. They still have their GM there. And
the guy who let Saquon leave?
Yeah, and regardless of how much they think that it's going to align, at the end of the day, he has his way of doing things. They should have shown him the door, but they weren't going to do it. And I get it, I guess, because they feel like they hit on this draft class or whatever. You got Malik Neighbors, which Malik Neighbors, people talk about fucking goddamn Michael Penix. At the end of the day, Malik Neighbors played just as many games as fucking Michael Penix damn near has. So I don't.
Neighbors looks better.
Michael Penix did not look bad. If we look at Michael Penix's numbers, his completion percentage was dog water. But I don't
want to look at his numbers because I watched most of his games.
I know, but I'm just saying, even from the outside looking in, if you're somebody that doesn't watch it every Sunday, again, which it shows in the stats anyways, I think that he's been inaccurate, but outside of that, I don't think that he's hot or cold, right? Like, he had a great he is who kept us in the Tampa game to start the year, the first game of the year. It was him.
Up or he's down.
Right. And then you'll have a game like the Carolina game where you're like, man, what the fuck was that? Like, Carolina game number 1, that is. Because he got hurt in Carolina game number 2. But we also had like a 15-point lead in that game too.
Bro, Bijan had 2-0 games and still had like 2,200 yards from scrimmage.
Yeah.
And made 2 All-Pro teams.
Yeah, All-Pro first team. With shout-outs to, while we're on this, because I guess that has come out, shout-outs to Bijan for All-Pro first team. Like, he's got to be the first Falcons running back. Oh, Michael Turner was probably first team All-Pro.
Yeah, come on, man.
That year, yeah.
Oh, the guy who's supposed to come on our show to open the season.
Yeah, and I felt like a part of why he had said what he had said. I've got text messages right here. I think a lot of that had to do with, I didn't realize that he was doing the show with Obi Mahaley. Like, I didn't know that.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I get it.
Yeah.
That was like a fake shot because Mike was a really cool guy, and the communication was there. And if the nigga never came on the show, it was vibes when we kicked it.
Yeah, exactly. You got Marco race the nigga and shit, and saying he could beat him in a foot race, and it's just like, okay.
Bro, you got a tell of a day. Bro, that was a hell of a day for me.
Yeah, because you Well, I met with you first, right? Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about how my day ended, and we won't discuss how it ended. But yeah, it was a hell of a
Oh,
day.
well, yes, of course, of course. Well, since we're on the NFL, we might as well segue into what Fifth River Rat here is talking about. We can talk about that game first.
Okay.
Carolina Panthers, LA Rams.
Rams can't stop the run. Carolina can run.
They
Bryce.
look like they look like they couldn't stop Bryce Young to me.
Wait, I was getting there. Shout out to Bryce Young because he killed shit. Uh, he's getting a 5th-year option. He went from damn near cut to hey, he's going to at least get to play out the 5th year, and really, it's going to be
Keep talking, by the way.
how good does he look next year? And if he looks good enough next year, they'll get that contract done. More than likely after the season, but to win the division, lead them to the playoffs. He played well. Shout out to Carolina, even though I don't like Carolina. But the Rams, can the Rams win the Super Bowl? Absolutely. When you have the running attack that they have, when you have the quarterback who's having an MVP level season, hopefully he wins it. You have Puka Nacua playing like one of the best receivers in the league, and Devontae Adams leading the league in receiving. That pass rush, yeah, the Rams can win the Super Bowl. I mean, they had a hell of a record. Obviously did not win the division, but it was super tight. We'll see, man. It's just all about matchups. It all boils down to matchups. And I don't know, but I like what the Rams are doing. I thought that was a great game. Honestly, I know that Carolina won the regular season game. I did not expect that game to be that close. And I kind of started rooting for Carolina. I know this is bad as a Falcons fan for me to start to root for Carolina. But I've been very critical of Bryce Young since he's been in the NFL. I've publicly and privately, I've said he's not good.
He isn't.
I didn't say he couldn't be good. I didn't say that he didn't have good days, but day in and day out, he was not a good NFL quarterback. Well, he played like a great NFL quarterback in his first playoff game, and I was rooting for the kid because at the end of the day, I want Bryce Young to be good. I don't want him to beat the Falcons. Like, I'm not rooting against Bryce Young. The talent, team always. But it was just nice to see Bryce Young look like a guy who got drafted first overall.
Yeah, I'll say this much. It was I'm glad that they made the game entertaining. Although I blame Sean McVay a little bit for why the game became entertaining. There's no way you're up 10, under 2 minutes. You're at the 2-minute warning. It's a 4th and 3. You go for it, you don't get it. First of all, can we stop overthinking these situations where? Well, yeah, take the fucking point. Take the points. But
I'm saying, but both ways, take the points or punt. Like, play field position sometimes, though.
Yeah, well, especially when this is a win or go home scenario too, and it's just kind of like, well, why wouldn't you just score more points, go up 13? You're already getting the ball to start the second half. I don't understand. You do that. You don't give them any momentum. They have to come out and try and drive. Now they're down basically 2 touchdowns. I don't understand. I don't understand why you wouldn't just take the points. It wasn't 4th and inches. It was 4th and 3. Just kick the fucking ball. And so that
you
play
don't have
itself,
the spreadsheet. You don't have the spreadsheet, man.
Yeah. You know what I do have, Lee? I've got fucking football knowledge of watching this shit. You know what I mean? That's something that I expect to hear out of a Josh Holsey. These box score Holseys. And so I don't know. I'm glad that it ended up going that way because it did make for a very entertaining game. Maybe the best game, which we had a lot of good. Well, that Bears game was damn good too, but still, definitely one of the better games of Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah, man, it was good. Real quick on your spreadsheet, guys. The point of the game is to score the most points. And here's what the NBA catches a lot of shit because it's a spreadsheet league until
100%.
Until the playoffs. Then it's a basketball league again. Hey, Sean McVay, it's the playoffs. It's the football league now. Our spreadsheets and our probabilities over a 17 game season? No, nigga. Every play matters. Every drive matters. Like, I was watching the Monday night game and just listening to Peyton, Eli, and Big Ben on the Manning cast just talking about the intensity, the tightness, you don't want to make a bad play because you feel every play mattering. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's what the Manning cast is about. You know, basketball, y'all got to find a way to do something like this. But ESPN, ABC, the Mannings, they do Omaha Media Productions, whatever. You know, whoever really puts that thing together, if you have a good game in the fourth quarter, you are going to learn some good fucking football listening to the Manning cast. And I know it is hard to turn off Tony and Joe. Oh, I mean, Troy and Joe. Golly, fuck Tony. It's hard to turn off Troy and Joe. But just the football shit that they were talking, and then the jokes back and forth with each other talking shit. Like Eli threw out a little, hey man, you know, over so-and-so years, it was Tom Brady, Big Ben, and Peyton Manning in the AFC Championship or whatever. I guess you guys were scared to play me. He was like, the 2 years I get in, y'all scared to play me. And it's just shit like that. And it's like, Eli knows he's not the quarterback that they were. But they all got the same amount of rings. And he beat GOAT in years that they didn't.
I mean, they had to beat GOAT too.
Yes,
obviously not for a Super Bowl, but they had to beat him to get there. For theirs.
You know what? This is why I understand Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame, even though I don't agree with it. He can talk shit with anybody. You know, kind of like he's like the positive Isaiah Thomas. Not as good as Isaiah Thomas. But you know how Zeke can really be like, yeah, nigga, I beat Magic, I beat Mike, I beat Larry. Like,
I guess the question is, do we weigh the playoffs more than regular season?
The media does. How do you think MJ built up this fucking legacy? 6 for 6.
But that's different. When you're talking about the greats, yes, that's what they compare themselves to. But when you're not a great, does it matter more?
Yes, absolutely. That the playoffs is the only reason Eli Manning the Hall of Fame.
The regular season is the prerequisite, and to me, when you don't have that, we can't really talk much more, because you could have too hot. It's like, okay, what did Jay-Z say about Nas? He said, when he's talked about Illmatic, he's like, he made 4 albums 10 years. So he said that's every 2.5 year average. He's like, one of them was Illmatic, the other 2 were due. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that that matter. We can't, like, just because you have one good season, 2, and even in those years, it isn't like, I don't know if Eli was a Pro Bowler in 2007.
Or he was never an All-Pro guy.
But I'm just saying, even Pro Bowls, like I still count Pro Bowls from back then, because those did matter. If you were a Pro Bowler, it mattered back in the 2000s. Yeah. That mattered. But
no, I personally, a non-voter, totally agree with you. I don't think Eli Manning deserves the conversation. I watched his entire career. Outside of 2 playoff runs. The only years he won a playoff game.
Yeah.
He was never elite. If you're not elite, I don't care what you did in the playoffs, that does not make you a Hall of Famer.
Correct.
And the only point, I just want to clarify for anybody who's listening. The only comparison I was making to Isaiah Thomas, Zeke, right? Nothing about their talent and play and performance. Only the fact that when Zeke he can go sit at the big boy table and niggas be like, "What you doing here?" And he'll look at Magic, Larry, and Mike and be like, "Y'all talking to me?"
Right.
The only little point guard to win a championship, like real point guard to win a championship. Y'all, do I need to take my glasses off?
Yeah.
I know y'all don't want me here. That's why I'm here. But I get to sit there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could look at a nigga like KD. Hey, KD. Hey, OG. Let me sit right here real quick. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So Eli, he gets bumped up because of who he beat in the playoffs, the Super Bowl. But nah, Eli's nowhere near the Hall of Fame. Put him in the Giants Ring of Honor because he's a Giant great. But Eli gets into the Hall of Fame because of this bullshit narrative that they sell that, quarterback's the most important position in sports and all of that stuff, and building up the quarterbacks. And that's why they pay the quarterbacks all of this money.
Yep.
Look at Joe Burrow. Not this past season, but the year before. Joe Burrow had MVP numbers and didn't make the playoffs. But you tell me quarterback's the most important position in sports. Stop. No, it's not. It's not. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl, and I know the NFL is different.
So did Brad Johnson. I mean,
but
there's numerous guys that have done it that aren't Hall of Famers.
But look at the Steelers, and we can kind of go into that game, or really Coach Tomlin, because that's the only important part of the game. Mike Tomlin hadn't won a playoff game in 10 years. Mike Tomlin hasn't had a playoff winning quarterback performance in any of those games. You know what I mean? Ben at the end should have played better. Like that Browns game, we blame Tomlin, but
you mean when they were down? What are they? They were down 28-0 to start that game, weren't they?
Yeah, they had like 3 first half turnovers.
Yeah,
like one was a bad snap.
All courtesy, but still all courtesy of the quarterback as well.
Exactly, and that has nothing to do with coaching, right? And then that quarterback is a fucking Hall of Famer, first ballot, 2-time Super Bowl champion, Pittsburgh legend, a legend in a legendary franchise, the second greatest quarterback in that franchise's history, loyal franchise who's only had 3 coaches, now about to have their 4th. Do you really think they're going to give Big Ben the boot? Even like Bill Belichick would tell him to go. We know that.
Right.
But do you think the Steelers were ever going to like give Big Ben the boot before a contract ended?
No, there was loyalty there, unlike the Falcons with Matt Ryan.
Right. But, so the Steelers are a loyal organization. So they couldn't kick Big Ben out when they needed to. And because Mike Tomlin wins so many fucking games every year, he wasn't going to get a good draft pick, and it's hard to get a free agent quarterback to be your franchise quarterback.
Right.
So I say all of that to say, you say quarterback is the most important position, but the Steelers have performed in the top, 10% of the NFL, and they haven't had good elite quarterback play since the Killer Bees were there.
Yeah.
So is it really is it the most important position? I don't know. It's easy to say that to a novice, but it's too many people. It's 22 people on the field at one time.
There are a lot of variables, but that's exactly why I think that Drake May should be MVP over Matt Stafford, because of moments like we had on Saturday where Matt Stafford's going against the Panthers. And I'm sorry, guys, if I just keep shitting on the Panthers. I don't think that they're a good fucking football team. I don't think that Bryce Young ever plays in another playoff game in a Panthers jersey again. That's how bad I think of this organization. And kudos to Dave Canales for getting them there and having them prepare for that game. But there's no reason why Bryce Young.
Couldn't we have hired him?
What's this? This is year 2 for him. Yes, yeah. This is year 2 for him because Liam Cohen's in year 1 and they succeeded each other coming out of Tampa. But we could have had him. But honestly, I wouldn't have been happy with hiring him, because even in our last coaching cycle, we literally talked about how we were like, we need to hire a head coach that has head coaching experience.
Yeah, no, I'm just throwing out another coach who made the playoffs that we could have had. I ain't talking about the guy with the MVP and and might win the fucking AFC East in his first year. I mean, the AFC in his first year already won it. I'm not talking about that guy that we kicked out. No. But sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I cut you off. I'm rude.
No, you're totally fine.
That's what she said.
And that's why, again, and I know we'll get to kind of preview it more so. We'll have some picks on it a little bit later, but just to answer Fifth River Rats question, can the Rams make it to the Super Bowl? My answer to that is honestly no. I don't think that they're going to go. And you'll get to hear it in the picks, but I mean, spoiler, I think they're going to fucking lose this weekend. That's what I think is going to happen. But
hey, can you do that again? Spoiler.
Spoiler. It's true. I think that they're going to lose this weekend, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Your biggest takeaway from the wild card weekend? I didn't want to spend too much time, I guess, on this because everybody knows the results. We got 4 fantastic games, 2 shitty ones. No surprise, Eagles. Kevin Patullo gets canned. Josh Holsey is somewhere. He's got some champagne on ice that he's going to get to crack open as soon as he gets to touch land. Bad football operation there. Big shout out to obviously to Shanahan. It's kind of crazy to think that every time he makes the playoffs, he goes to the NFC Championship. And isn't that amazing that he's never lost a wild card or divisional round game?
Isn't it amazing that he's never won a Super Bowl game?
I know, but I'm saying with those statistics, the fact that
look here, bro. Fuck Kyle Shanahan and fuck the 49ers.
Yeah.
I ain't rocking with either.
Okay.
They
Why?
put my daughter in those threads, man.
Yeah, and I understand that can be tough, but we're not gonna sit here and act like this guy. Just like how you feel about Sean Payton.
Oh no, yeah, no. Look, if Kyle Shanahan said I want to come back to Atlanta and make things right, come on home.
Yeah, let bygones be bygones, huh?
Oh yeah, the bygones are gonna be they're bygone. Shit, nigga. Fuck out of here, you bygones, nigga.
Right.
But you were asking me my biggest takeaway?
Yeah, from wild card weekend.
That the college football playoff is too big. Because college football is trying to emulate the NFL model without the consolidation of talent. Less is more. People hate DEI, right? Because they think you're letting less qualified people in. But what you don't understand is, no, less qualified people have been allowed to be in for so long that we're trying to balance this out. And if it was always merit-based, it would look different. It would actually, we would not need DEI, right? Same thing with college football. We don't need, less is more. Like in every part of this world, we are trying to be agile and more efficient, except for in the college football playoff. And I know this is not a college football segment, but the point is, the fucking Panthers, who we don't think are a good football team and don't think they have a good quarterback, and outside of Tet, who the fuck can he throw the ball to? You know what I mean? Go against the Rams team, who almost won the NFC West and NFC out proper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A team with a quarterback who's having an MVP season, a Super Bowl champion, a Super Bowl championship coach, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams. You know what I mean? Like Jarrett Verse. Like they got a team that we before this game considered a Super Bowl contender. I still consider them that, but neither here nor there. And they almost lost.
They were losing. They were trailing in the final 2 minutes of the game.
Motherfucking Indiana has not sweat damn near all fucking season. You understand what I'm saying? Like, semifinal game, they put belt to ass to motherfucking Oregon. Or the way Georgia did TCU in the Natty that one year. You know what I mean? College was right the way it was because the talent is so spread out.
Right.
It's not the NFL. It can't be the NFL. So, in closing, the NFL is just the best brand. Playoff NFL football is just the best football that is available. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And we like to say it gets better round by round. It doesn't always get better round by round. Like some of the best games are actually this week, divisional week, because the seeding matters, the place you play matters, but most importantly, the matchups matter. And the seedings may not speak to the matchups. And
Right.
that's what you get in the NFL. You don't really get that in college football. Because we don't know, because we don't have enough common opponents. Like college football, I'm sorry, I want to rant, is a prime example of capitalism. This is just capitalism. This is not about superior product. It is strictly about how can we make more money? Because they're putting bullshit on TV, but it gets better ratings because, you know what? We can't write a fucking good show anymore. You know, all this football is on TV simply because the networks go, hey, we don't have to invest in writers and top-notch actors. We can just pay a fucking gobble slob of money, ESPN, ABC, and get all of these fucking games, and we ain't got to play, we ain't got to buy on rival. We ain't got to play college basketball on TV. We're going to get better ratings and more money when we're not getting better football.
Which, interesting take, and I know we're still kind of on the NFL here, but just I have to bring this tidbit in because it relates to what you're talking about. What do you think of the idea of, because Indiana being the only team in this short span of time that we've had a 12-team playoff, they're the only team to win having the bye week, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on switching out how they're doing this and having it to where bowl games are played in that first round of games, and then when you advance to that next round, for the teams that do have a bye, they get home games to kind of help, weigh this a little different? Because clearly it seems like it's a disadvantage to have that bye.
Doesn't work for the corporate sponsors. Do you think they want to go to fucking Bloomington?
It'd probably be a scene. Hell, it was a scene here. That Oregon game was a fucking
no. What? No. So Atlanta is different. Do you think the corporate people want to go to fucking Bloomington?
No.
They don't want to go to Oregon. They're going to go to the cities that, for one, the airports can support, the hotel situation can support, all of this and that. I get you, because you're talking about the spirit of football.
Yeah, I'm talking about what makes most sense for those teams.
Well, what makes most sense is Indiana not trotting a fucking semi-pro team out there of college students.
Yeah.
The goddamn average age is 23 years old. A bunch of grown goddamn men out there.
Well, there's that. And then, of course, there's just the idea of, I don't know, maybe they just, expand it to 16 teams. That way every team plays week 1.
That would be the only reason that I would support expansion. But, I'm a 14 playoff guy.
Yeah. Even though we've got Miami in, who's a 10. And it was the last real team to get in.
Yeah, but they're probably going to fucking lose, and Cincinnati's probably going to beat the shit out of them, or Indiana's going to beat the shit out of them, because Indiana's beat the shit out of everybody pretty much all fucking year. I didn't believe in it.
Who's yours?
Like, I didn't believe in it because I didn't believe in the competition, but goddamn, they're beating the shit out of everybody.
You didn't believe in the who's yours?
Well, they beat the shit out of Bama. Which
beat the fuck out of Oregon. It's even worse than Oregon.
Fuck out of Oregon. Like, they beat Ohio State. You know what I mean? Like, these niggas just beat everybody. They've been the best team. I hate that.
Yeah.
And lastly, I know we're not talking college ball, but I'm so over, and maybe it's me, a hurt SEC fan. I'm so hurt. I'm so over the which conference is better, because these aren't legitimate conferences anymore. These players aren't investing in a conference. They're going team to team every year. It's like 8,000 niggas in the portal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's no longer, it's not regional anymore. Like, to where mainly, even in the SEC, very rarely, prior to a guy like Tua, right, coming from Hawaii to go to Alabama, very rarely most of the time it's like, oh, these guys are from this area. They're from this state. They're from the region.
Yeah.
Now it's not that. Now it's no surprise that the entire team is from a different state. Like, yeah, you're still getting a lot of guys. Like, for instance, at Georgia, there's plenty. They're still getting the top. Like Kirby's getting the top guys from the state of Georgia, but it opens it up to where you do have it to where, oh wow, Brock Bowers from Napa, California.
Well, you would get those onesies, twosies though.
Yeah, like on occasion,
Like
you're
Brock
gonna
Bowers
get a guy
was
from
a onesie
California
twosie.
to go to a school far from home.
Yeah, Brock Bowers was a onesie twosie. USC was down at the time, so it made sense for him to come east.
Yeah, enjoying the NWO basically.
Yeah, and also with the SEC versus Big Ten thing, just because the Big Ten wins the Natty doesn't mean it's the best conference. It just means it had the best team. And with these playoff seeding, with the playoff bracketing, they pretty much put teams conference versus conference. You know what I'm saying? Like it was.
Yeah.
You didn't get to see the conference teams go against each other and then say, oh shit, the SEC teams beat the Big Ten teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's eventually going to turn into the SEC Big Ten Invitational.
Which was another thing that ended up getting brought up too. And I think this was on Cam Newton on 4th and 1.
You watched that bullshit?
No, I saw a clip, but it made a ton of sense. He was basically suggesting, why don't, like how with college basketball, how we do have the Big Ten versus, or the SEC versus ACC challenge, Big Ten versus, Big East or whatever challenge. Why don't we start the season off that way? Have it to where, because his point, how it came up was that bowl season just doesn't matter. Why don't we make that opening week those bowl games instead, in a sense of not like the Orange Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, because those are playoff games still, but make the Pop-Tart Bowl a season opening game, but you're having these mixed matchups that you'll get, which they do a good job. Like we had Texas versus Ohio State to start this year, right? But like making it official where we get the Big Ten versus the SEC. It's a bowl game.
And it keeps
right?
it keeps the bowl feeling alive.
Correct. And I thought it made a ton of sense. I was like, you know what? Cam, you might be onto something. He's like, you have the Maui Invitational for college basketball, right? Yeah. Like, and the granted, basketball is different, so they have this tournament or whatever. But that's how they kind of do their shit, right? That is how basketball works. A lot of times it's at the beginning of the year when they do have these neutral site games, but it's all the top teams playing each other, like early in the season. Why not set it up that way to where you have the Big Ten versus SEC challenge, and we put big on big? Georgia does play Ohio State, but they play the game at a neutral site, and weather won't be an issue either, which is the best part about it. You can kind of play these games anywhere. So, like Yankee Stadium, as long as they don't have a playoff game or a game, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could still have these games played.
But these coaches are afraid. They don't want to get the early losses. They don't know how the polls are going to act. Also, hey, college football. You use polls and people's opinions to create your playoff system.
Right.
You can never be the NFL. The NFL shit is scientific.
Right.
It's objective. Even when it could be subjective, it's objective. There is a rule for every situation.
Right.
College football is some guys getting in a room coming up with who should play against each other. Oh, yeah. And this is going on ABC. You niggas got marching orders.
Well, hey, look, they sent Tulane and James Madison. Those games, they were on TNT because of, the deal with inside the NBA. They basically traded off, hey, we're going to show Chuck and Shaq, which I don't know. I know that they haven't really been on as much this year. Have you even been watching any of that, like, at all?
They opened the season and I watched. I don't watch the NBA show. And to be quite honest, dog, we had Monday Night Football up until like this. We just had our last Monday Night Football game, right?
Yeah. And well, technically we got the national championship on Monday.
Yeah, right. So
that would take the place of that. Yeah.
Right, but so we've had Monday Night Football, so that's I don't watch basketball on Mondays. I record Village Vets on Tuesdays. I don't watch basketball on Tuesdays. We record this show on Wednesdays. I don't watch basketball on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I watch basketball, but trying to find, I have to go to the ESPN app to figure out where the game. It's really a problem.
Yeah.
Like the streaming thing, yes, I have all the I can watch basketball when it comes on. I'm probably paying for League Pass and don't know it because that shit is on auto renew.
Yeah.
But it's hard to watch basketball and it's fucking frustrating, dog.
Yeah.
But that's more capitalism, more money, and it becomes when you start caring more about the money, you stop caring about the product or the service.
Which is the issue with the NBA, anyways, to begin with.
Well, the NBA's issue is also fucking lazy
bad product.
But it's lazy scouting, lazy coaching. You know, it's hey, we're gonna play 5 out, and we want a 6'6" to 6'10" primary ball handler, and everybody just stand out there and let them do their thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's easier to build that team and find the players who can do the other stuff because it takes less skill, but you're getting rid of valuable skills while also not becoming like you're less entertaining and you're also not scoring. You're not scoring as many points per possession. Like you're not scoring like dramatically more points per possession, more points per game than other eras in the NBA who played different styles of basketball, you know? Like it's when you let the fucking pencil pushers make the decision instead of give a recommendation. And I think we talked about that last week. We got to get back to reality. Look here, dog. Nerds don't make fucking decisions. They don't. The best people, the best decision makers in the world aren't fucking nerds. Nerds want too much information. Dog, I'm a nerd. You know what I mean? Like, I care about the structure of things and the science behind it and how it works. Nigga, you don't want me making every fucking decision on the shit that I'm nerdy about.
Yeah.
You want me to give a fucking recommendation to somebody who is actually doesn't know as much about the nerdery of it and has a feel for it, who does it, has experience, and they can take the nerdery and combine it with experience to get a good decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why, hey, when college niggas get jobs, they get these management jobs, but like the ship is flowing without them. Like you don't need the college nigga to actually make shit happen.
Yeah.
But over that time, you should learn enough to then, when you get your next promotion, be able to be a decision maker because your nerdery is backed in experience.
Right.
Wow. I'm getting philosophical today. I've got to start watching more sports in sports podcasts.
Yeah, stop letting Jeff fucking burn you out, man.
Every Saturday is fun here. What do you want to talk about next?
Well, I kind of wanted to preview just a little bit of the NFL. I know we damn near did talk about college. I mean, we'll get to talk about the matchup specifically with Miami, Indiana, but
the most important part about that game is what Michael Irvin's going to be doing on the sidelines.
Oh, you mean hanging out with his fucking dealer?
The Miami Hurricane?
Yeah, and then him taking his belt off and putting a Hoosier jersey on a trash can and looking around at everybody and telling them, "Look at me," while I act like I'm because you guys can relate to this. It's like, oh, it's like today it's just called belt to ass, but for us it's like, oh, I used to get whoopings. This hurts. I'm getting my butt beat.
That's you know what that is?
But that's what he's saying he's doing to them as a fan and an alum and a former football player. That's what we're doing, guys. Belt to ass. And it's just like, well, I don't know. I used to get my ass beat with the belt. So
why is it okay for us to say belt to ass, but it's not okay for us to put belt to ass to our kids? I am not standing for whooping kids. I'm calling out the inconsistencies here.
Yeah, it's because this is the society that we live in, and you shouldn't question it. That's why.
Because belt to ass belt to ass does not refer to peers dealing with each other. The
Yeah.
only like when you think about leather to body, you think about a kid getting a whooping or a slave getting put in line. You know what I'm saying?
Those are the only two things that it can reference.
Somebody who is lesser to you in social hierarchy.
Right.
Like, nigga, if me and you got into altercation, at no point are our belts coming off and being slung around here. Like, you're not, nigga, no.
Right.
Don't even take your belt off around me, to be honest, because you're a fucking man.
Yeah.
And I'm not into that. If you are, it's okay to have a man take his belt off around you. But for me, don't take your belt off around me. Like, nigga, we in the locker room. We ain't talking about the group chat.
Wow.
Sorry, what are we talking about here? Because
you're on one league.
I didn't speak enough today.
Well, I thought you spoke a little Espanol. Muy poquito.
Un poquito.
Yeah. But no. I tell you what, which divisional game are you looking forward to the most out of the 4 that we have this weekend? I think we got some pretty good matchups.
Let me see.
You got the 49ers Seahawks and the Bills Broncos. Those are going to be your Saturday doubleheaders. And then on Sunday, we get Bears Rams and Patriots Texans.
Bears Rams.
Yeah. And I feel like that's why that's the crescendo of it all.
Ben Johnson, Sean McVay, Caleb Williams, Matthew Stafford. Yeah. Caleb being back in LA.
No, games in
Chicago. It's in Chicago?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. My job schedule doesn't allow me to research the way I used to.
No. Games in Chicago. And funny enough, that's going to be.
Chicago won the division, right? Yeah, I'm tripping.
Yeah, that's going to be the NBC game.
Chris?
This is yeah. So this is
hold on. I know you're about to say something important. We get Chris and Mike, mainly Chris, with Matthew Stafford and Caleb Williams, like all the crazy throws that we're going to see in that game.
For a divisional playoff game. Because if you remember, normally this is when it kind of switched. Wild card weekend had been the only weekend where we would have those games. Those divisional games would be Fox CBS both days. And I'm glad the NFL
business.
Well, I'm glad the NFL finally decided to do this because it's always made more sense. Fox and CBS are calling the Saturday games, and then both Sunday games. One is on NBC, and then the other one's we're going to get Joe and Troy. It's going to be a Monday Night Football crew for the Texans Patriots game.
We got another week of Joe and Troy?
Yeah. But I'll tell you this much. Al and
Kirk,
yeah, they're done for the season. Well, I guess we'll get to hear Kirk on Monday, but
you'll hear Kirk on Monday. I'll probably
we'll get to see his fucking dog. Somebody on Twitter, he put up a video of the dog, and it's like everybody was like, somebody tweeted, they're like, we fucking get it. You got a dog. It's like you and everybody else in America. Can you please stop posting? Like,
hey, real quick though, did you have thoughts on the Jacksonville reporter?
I sent it to you. I thought that I thought it was heartwarming. I didn't have an issue with her comforting or basically words of encouragement for the season because the Jaguars did have a good season. They won 13 games after they lost 13 the year before. They lost the game in a fashion thanks to Carsville's own.
Hey, relax.
I'm not shitting on him. I'm just saying it was a terrible. Well, it wasn't even really that bad of a throw. He still threw it like, I don't know. He shouldn't have threw that ball to him.
Look here, man. I'm not gonna lie to you here, Parlay Pete. The Trevor Lawrence, the anti-Trevor Lawrence rhetoric on this show, we're gonna have to cut that out, man.
Nobody has anti-Trevor Lawrence rhetoric.
I mean, I don't even think we should negatively discuss
joke about the idea of Carsville's own.
I don't think, even if he has a bad performance, I don't think we should discuss it. I think we should act like it didn't happen. I think we should do like every other media outlet. And if we have a relationship or
Who's paying you?
Nobody today.
Okay.
And nobody ever. I wouldn't. My views would not change based on my sources of income.
Okay. We'll
My
keep
views
that
are
in
my
mind.
views.
I don't know. I think it's odd that you're like, even if he plays bad, we just didn't talk about it. It's like, well, no, we should talk about it because if he plays bad, I mean, that's just what happened. It's not a personal thing. It's a
Well, we don't.
he threw a bad interception. I mean, it is what it is.
Sometimes you want to keep doors open when you live in someone's hometown and you're involved in the community.
So that's what it is.
You don't want a bad clip to get to someone that you don't know and be taken out of context when you're approaching as a totally different person.
Hey, you're that guy that told me about the interception I threw. Yeah,
bro, nigga, I'm bullshitting. Like, we're gonna come on here and be honest, man. Like, hey,
yeah,
obviously, I would love to throw some type of fundraiser here with Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, you fucking right, I would. Yeah. For the community. But at the same time, like, nah, the nigga don't play good. I'm gonna say the nigga didn't play good.
Yeah, and that's all it was. And again, it gets back to kind of my point and why people had an issue. I don't know why some people had an issue with the black woman that was, basically telling Liam Cohen.
You said black woman. America hates black women. That's what I've been told by black women.
She sounds just like a nice black lady that I've met before.
I know she did. I'm just saying that a lot of the hate could be because America hates black women, and multiple black women have told me America hates black women. So that could actually be the direct source of the hate.
But nobody in the media really was talking that badly about it. I don't remember. I mean, Adam Schefter's one of the people that posted it. He said it was heartwarming. Like, and he's the biggest name in the NFL as far as media wise, I would think, to a degree, since he breaks, all the stories. But
well, hey, you're not gonna play my guy.
Who? In terms of breaking stories in the NFL, is Schefter.
The guy who breaks the best stories.
Rap?
No.
Pelissero? Who?
He shows up once a week on Sunday.
And he breaks stories?
He's a bald guy with a gruff
voice. Jay Glazer?
And he mainly break 3 stories a year.
Jay Glazer, he has his own gym out there in Cali, doesn't he? It's in San Diego, I think, too, isn't it?
I don't know. I just know he has a gym out in California.
Maybe it's LA, but this is why a guy like Jay Glazer, because he was on Ballers. I think you watch Ballers, right?
No, I don't watch TV.
Well, it's old. I
know.
I don't watch TV either, but it was one of the few shows that I did watch.
Ooh, I've been watching House of Cards finally
with The Rock.
I'm not an HBO guy either. So HBO wasn't a thing in my house until like high school, when my TV was locked in on ESPN and NFL Network.
Yeah.
So like, nigga, I didn't watch The Sopranos until I was married.
I still haven't watched it.
Bro, you need to watch it. And actually, I was talking to one of my friends last night, and I'm actually planning to finish that, because I didn't finish it because
that The Wire, Entourage, none of that stuff.
I didn't watch The Wire either.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
But I'm watching House of Cards right now, and it really has my attention. I'm actually can't wait to like get done with this show. Not that I'm rushing the show.
I feel like you'd be a big Curb Your Enthusiasm guy, considering your connection to Seinfeld.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have avoided Curb because I love Seinfeld so much. And in my mind, I'm a Jerry Seinfeld fan more than I'm a Larry David fan, and I'm not giving Larry David a chance. That's a personal thing I have to work through. Like if I'm talking to like 2 or 3 chicks at one time, and I really start liking one, I'll become loyal, and the other 2 don't matter.
Right. It's understandable.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like that. Like, bro, I realize I'm a kind of tribal person. I got to figure out the root of that. I may get to it in therapy Oh shit! Did I talk to you about the therapist I talked to last week?
No.
I will call you because we will not talk about it on here. But yeah, man, that shit. Oh.
You missed out on that therapist the night we were all hanging out. We had some pretty good dialogue.
What night?
Halloween when you were asleep. Remember there was a therapist there.
Sleep, buddy. I
She
woke up and walked to the elevator and went downstairs, man. It was just,
right.
Yeah, hey, you know what? You know what's really cool about this show now?
What's that?
We actually go make like real life shit that we can talk about on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much time do we have left? Because I feel like there's more to talk about. And
what are we? We're at 121, so we got 39 minutes.
Hey, I want to throw this out here. Why is Indiana having one of the greatest disappointing sports years ever?
I guess you're talking straight from the Pacers to the Colts
Fever?
and their star.
No, the Pacers.
Oh yeah, the Fever went to the championship. Yeah,
the Colts and their start, and now we got IU in the fucking national championship. What's going on?
I didn't really look at it that way.
Well, you don't watch Club 520.
Oh well, of course, yeah, of course, those guys are going to feel this certain way about it. You know, it's interesting. I mean, what a time, right? What a time to be. I guess we kind of got it a little bit with Georgia and the Braves. The Falcons just weren't very good, so I guess maybe it doesn't. And then the Hawks went to the Eastern Conference Finals as well during that same year that Georgia won the national championship and the Braves won the World Series. So we were kind of on fire. It was just Arthur Smith and whatever the fuck that was that we had going on. But
yo, did you see that he's a candidate for a head coaching job?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be candidates. We're about to see a few retreads get hired. I mean, would you be surprised if Bob Saleh got a head coaching job this cycle?
Well, they're saying it's going to Oakland. I mean, Vegas.
I don't like that. I don't like that as a hire. I don't think that that's what Brady wants to do.
I don't think Big Bob gets you over the hump.
I think he wants to hire what's-his-face and Daboll. I think he really does want to do that. If that is true, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. I could see Bob Saleh being with the Cardinals, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
do you think Daboll and B-Flow work because of what happened with the New York thing and the Bill text and then the lawsuit?
That's interesting.
Or and I only say that because we don't know. We know there's a coaching web there, right? And we also don't know if Bill sent B-Flow that text on accident on purpose, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm curious as if they ever crossed paths while they were in New England, if they were ever there at the same time. I'm sure that they probably had to have been.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's ask ChatGPT so I don't have to look up multiple things.
Let's see.
Did Daboll and Flores coach together in New England?
They had to.
Yep, they did.
Yeah.
So, because B-Flow was there 2012 to 18. Oh, yeah, he was there Dayball's whole time. So, again, their relationship may be solid. I only just asked that because of what we know publicly, where there could possibly be a rift because Brian Flores did file a lawsuit with the NFL because of that hiring. And is Brian Flores going to be comfortable being Dayball's number 2? That doesn't play.
No, it would be B-Flow would be the head coach.
I like that.
And
I'm not gonna lie to you. B-Flow created a culture in Miami. And he was right about Tua, by the way.
He was right about Tua. He's arguably, I guess Shanahan would maybe say Vic Fangio, but you could argue he's probably the hardest defensive coordinator to scheme up your offensive plan.
Did you see what he did to McVay in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
He changed that nigga's – he changed half his coaching philosophy.
Yeah.
You made that nigga go to the dark room and say, "Dang, bro, I ain't as good as I thought I was. All these plays I got."
A little soul searching, huh?
Shout out to the guy that beat Calvin Johnson for Player of the Year in Georgia.
Isn't that crazy? Just to think about.
No, because of who his dad is, the politics, the position,
Yeah.
the reasons
Quarterback.
why I wouldn't wear a Matt Ryan jersey, it's all these different things.
Anywho, moving along. I think I would agree with you though. Bears Rams probably is going to be the most entertaining game of the week.
I want to talk hoops too, man.
Yeah. Well, here I tell you.
Oh yeah,
What,
finish
let's.
your playoff stuff.
No, I mean we'll get to. I mean we got picks later, but like, so because then everybody can know exactly kind of how I feel about it. Like, yeah.
I want to talk about Luka and Dennis Schroeder. Yeah, you might want to talk about serious basketball shit. I want to talk about ignorant shit.
The drama.
Yeah. I still follow Spiritual Word. JP tells me I should unfollow the page. I tell him, I'm like, bro, I need the filth for the show.
Right. Sounds like a guilty pleasure to me.
Say again?
That sounds like a guilty pleasure to me.
I have a few.
Okay.
I still watch Law and Order SVU.
Yeah.
Haven't missed an episode ever.
Your favorite shoe place is Athlete's Foot too, huh?
If I'm looking for some kicks, yeah.
Okay.
I'm comfortable in there. But nah, Dennis Schroeder got suspended for 3 games for swinging at Luka based on the report, and apparently he commented and said, "Nah, nigga, I connected."
I didn't realize that he was waiting for him outside of the locker room too. So this was a little Kevin Garnett, Carmelo Anthony type thing.
I won't say it was that bad. Because have you heard the after stories?
Yeah, why that happened between
No, not the why, because the actual whys never came out. Whatever story they've told, like Melo's told, is not true, and I don't believe Honey Nut Cheerios. It may have been something about his wife, but I don't necessarily think it was Honey Nut Cheerios. And even if it was Honey Nut Cheerios, that's not what got him there. It's you said my wife. You say anything about my wife, this ain't basketball no more.
Right.
And I'm telling you,
nothing to do about that.
No, like no bullshit. I'm telling you, as a nigga with like separated, like niggas can't talk greasy about my wife. You can say true things. You're in the inner circle. No, I'm just like my inner circle. That's different, but like you can't talk bad about my wife. Like that like when you love somebody enough to give them your last name. Nah, people can't. Nigga. So, anyways, they said Luka called him the B word, told him he should have took that money. We read some lips. I just respect a nigga waiting on a nigga. Like if we own that on the court, and you go past, like, and I'm a shit talker. I know the line. I know the line. There's a line. I know the line. And when you cross that line and somebody wants to come see you about it, I'll always respect that, because a lot of the times we talk about this NBA stuff. Oh, hold me back. Yeah, if you try to fight right there, it's a hold me back moment in today's NBA. But if you go wait to see a nigga when he come out, confrontation, you put your hands on him, let him know how you feel. I don't agree with violence. I'm not supporting violence, but I'm just saying, somebody crosses a line and disrespects you, and then you take the appropriate means to actually address it, not yelling in his face in the game. But hey, my nigga, we need to talk after the game, and I ain't got nothing to say. I'll always respect that as men amongst men, because it's private.
Right.
The NBA didn't have to put that shit out. Nobody knew about it. No, nothing leaked.
Well, except the clip of them actually on the floor of him saying, "I'll beat your ass" at the free throw line when he when somebody shoots a free throw and then niggas be switching out. Yeah.
But I also respect that when he say, "I'll beat your ass," and then he comes and sees you. Because it's a nigga right now I ran into when I was in Bahrain. I still don't respect that nigga to this day, Parlay Pete. I don't respect him.
Well, you ran into him.
Nah, we were hooping one day and I was talking shit. And you know, I wasn't using fighting words. I was just probably saying he was trash. He's a bum. He with us. We 6-on-4. Give me the ball because he guarding me. So ain't nobody guarding me. You know, shit like that. Nothing to fight
Yeah.
over. It's all basketball talk. And we're in the
Game
military.
disrespect.
And we're in the military. So like there's also a level of we really not gonna fight here unless it gets bad. I made that nigga so mad. He got chest to chest, eye to eye with me, and kept calling me a pussy. He's like, nigga, you a pussy. You a pussy. Look at him. I start laughing.
Right.
Niggas is like, hey, bro, y'all gonna get y'all man? I'm like, bro, they like, nah, he good. He doing what he want to do right now. He wants this nigga mad. And long story short, I see the guy later that day at a party. He wants to dap me up and be cool. No, nigga.
So he didn't keep that same energy.
Exactly. And you know, this basketball shit talk ain't calling no nigga no pussy, ain't calling no nigga no bitch, ain't no I'll beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? Hey, take the money, like shit like that. Hey, your wife this, your girl that. Nah, that ain't basketball shit talk.
Yeah, that's something completely different.
And you know, I had a conversation with a coworker today who pretty much was calling NBA players and celebrities prima donnas. And I said, I agree. But I will say that people do go out of line in how they talk to these people because they think can't nothing happen to them. So that's why I'd be happy when Russ get a nigga kicked out for calling him a nigga or talking about his family or you call somebody a bitch ass nigga. I think, don't get me wrong, would I get a nigga kicked out for calling me a bitch ass nigga or a nigga?
Right.
No. But my experience is different. But I have no issue with it because I done got my ass whooped for saying something I shouldn't have said. When you done got that one ass whooping, you learn a lesson. I don't say things that I won't fight over. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say something that could start a fight if I don't want to fight.
Right.
And I think those people need to learn those consequences. I don't know how we got there, but yeah, shout out to Diaz for pulling up on Luka because that nigga got.
Well, that's how we got there.
Yeah. Like, hey, niggas talk greasy, they deserve consequences. And I'm not saying murder, I ain't saying violence. It could just be a cutoff, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be you spoon feed them now, but like, hey, nigga, you can't talk to people crazy and just think it's okay.
Yeah. Greasy talk.
What are your thoughts on the association in general? Because we haven't talked much association this year.
Well, because we've been getting fed by the NFL. And I'm very happy about being fed by the NFL. Because guess what? We're gonna get that one big feast in February, and then that's gonna be it until I mean, we got the draft, but this is not even that good of a draft, and we don't have a first round pick, so we really aren't invested in that shit.
Are the Falcons even gonna have a party this year?
That's a good question. I think that they are, because especially if we like hire like a Harbaugh or something, maybe he could show. I don't know how
he can like show up but not be accessible.
Kind of like a pep rally in a weird way. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So they could do something like that. Plus, they're going to unveil the new jerseys.
Oh, yeah.
Which that's something we didn't talk about at Falcons First. We're finally getting new jerseys. Thank you, Arthur, for listening to the fans. Like
get rid of them fucking wreck jerseys, nigga.
Hey, my only thing that I ask is, and I've said this so many times, and it's going to change how any jersey that they make, whatever the design is, please make the pants the gray breeches. We need those gray and silver breeches just like we did in the 90s and the 80s. They have to be that color. If they're not that color, the uniform, I'm not saying that the white pants, and then bring back also, make those the primary, but then also bring back the black pants. Bring back the white pants with white, like where we can have these different combinations, but the primary needs to be the gray pants. And please give us a white, a black, and a red jersey. Some people want a red helmet. And maybe we keep the logo. We keep the logo the same as our general logo, but it's not on the helmet. And I've even seen some people think that like maybe we get Falcon wings similar to the Eagles.
Ew.
I know I wouldn't really want like that coming from like the top and over. It would be different for sure, but like,
Bro, keep the bird on there. Go back to the old bird, not this bird.
but make it a modernized version. I don't mind it being. I want it to be the shape of the old bird, but they can still modernize it to where, like, for instance, because I'm looking at this helmet now behind this iPad. The old one is just black and white. This one's got it incorporates the silver and the red. You can still keep the silver and the red, but modernize the old look with the new color scheme.
You know what? I like what they do in Pittsburgh. I like what they do in Philly. I like what they do in Cincinnati.
Well, Philly's changed their logo though.
When they changed the helmet logo?
Well, you're right. The helmet logo has it, just the color.
Yeah, no. So you can always identify the helmet logo, like the logo. No matter what color it's on, you go to a little recreation game, and them motherfuckers might be the purple whatever. But if they got that logo, you know that logo. So yeah. I want a logo to be synonymous with the Falcons. That is the Falcons, no matter what. So you can be the Redbirds in the fucking Southwest Georgia League, but everybody know you took your shit from the Falcons.
Yeah, and I think that we have a nice logo. I mean,
like the Braves have the best Atlanta logo.
Well, it's so iconic.
Exactly. I'm not saying it's the best design model. I'm just saying the Braves logo is timeless.
Well, everybody knows when you see it, it's the A.
And if they think it's Alabama, then they're a hit.
Nobody thinks it's fucking Alabama.
I've had somebody ask me about my A on my arm and says that for Atlanta or Alabama, and I'm like, they're different A's. The Atlanta Braves A is skinnier than the Crimson Tide A. Get the fuck out of my face. You're not Southern,
right? Our logo was the Denver Broncos.
Who's we?
Mount Vernon Mustangs.
Raw.
For our football helmet, we had the current Denver Broncos. That was our logo on our helmets.
I got my football helmet from high school, like right over here.
Yeah, but yours is just like a C, right?
C with some cross sabers. It's some generic shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stole my helmet after my last game. I walked off the field and walked straight to
Nobody ever check that in or
I told one of the managers what I was doing because she saw me. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm taking my helmet." And then apparently when they checked in our gear, they did it during school, during football weight training, but because I was going to college and shit, I didn't take it didn't work in my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't there when they checked them in, and nobody ever asked me anything. And I graduated in 2010, so I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I was only worried because my mom worked there. I wasn't worried about me. I'm like, whatever. Memphis is trying to blow it up, Parlay Pete, or gonna blow it up, and I understand to some degree moving off of Ja, but you know what I don't understand, Parlay Pete?
What's that?
Why a team with a good young core would blow up their good young core, fire their coach, and bring in a coach who doesn't want their good young core, and then try to rebuild a new young core. Like, that's stupid.
It's stupid, but it's very on par with what the Grizzlies' history has been, in a sense of outside of that grit and grind team, there is no history. So it's kind of like no man's land. And I know that they're obviously one of the newer NBA franchises, but
honestly, better ran over the last 15 years.
Yeah, because they were a team that was able to make a good team that could make runs, that was taken seriously in the league, regardless of having a superstar type player on the team. They never had a superstar. Ja is the biggest star that they've had,
I would never trade him.
Yeah. And they're going to have to. They're going to have to. Obviously the rumor is Miami. Somebody just brought this up. I saw it on Twitter.
Oh, no, not about the Josh shit, but like I really want to focus in on why would you blow up a good young core that's walking into their prime to restart?
It's not working. And honestly, it's not working. And then I mean, their competition in terms of a young core walking in is Memphis. I mean, is OKC, and we've already seen that now. Twice in the playoffs? Them just dispatching them niggas. I,
But
I'm not mad at them for blowing it up. I think it's just at what cost. Like, what are you gonna get? Is my
but
question.
but hold on, dog. You're Memphis. You're in a shitty market. You have a superstar.
But you can't fire the coach again.
Well, you shouldn't have hired the coach that didn't want the superstar who makes the fucking money and gets you to the playoffs when he's healthy. It's not like Memphis was bad with Ja. Yes, Ja's health is a problem. And if you're going to move off of Ja because of health, cool. But you're not moving off of Ja because of health.
Right.
You fired your coach 9 games before the season ended going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Bring in a nigga that doesn't like your star player and your star player doesn't like. And then you trade Desmond Bain. You already let Dylan Brooks walk because of the bad series, but look what the fuck he's turned into.
Yeah,
you know
he's looking like a diamond in the rough for the Suns right now. Like he's going to get paid again.
When we talk about two-way players, it's typically perimeter players. I know
people say, but he hadn't been that great off. Like he wasn't great offensively with the Rockets in my opinion.
No, I was saying like he's now turned into a top 5 two-way perimeter player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
he looked great offensively with the Suns.
Yeah. So you had that in the building. You had Desmond Bain's 20 points in the building. Ja's not playing up to his standard. He's not getting his minutes. His percentages are down. And now you're going to move off of Jaren Jackson. You should try to build a championship team.
Hawks should have traded Trey straight up for Ja. That's why I hated the timing of the Ja thing. It would have been a perfect match. Like Trey would have got to
they did trade solid.
With Jake.
They did trade solid.
They did. Now his MCL, they're saying they're going to reevaluate after All-Star break. He's done for the year. That's what that means.
Because they don't want to lose their draft pick. But they did trade a solid. So I don't have any criticism for the trade unless we're going to say the Hawks are wrong for doing right by their biggest star since Dominique Wilkins. You know what I mean? So like the Hawks trade wasn't just about basketball. It's about, hey, we like you. This doesn't work. How can we help you make your life work and our life work? You know what I'm saying? Right. And you can dump the salary, open up the free agency slot possibly, or be able to make a trade. And so even if I don't like it, I see what's going on. But Memphis blowing up their shit and it being in a shitty market where you'll never get a free agent. Like Hawks, we may get lucky and get a Joe Johnson or old ass Antoine Walker. Like there are reasons why niggas don't come to Atlanta. It's not because they don't like Atlanta. It's because their wives don't like Atlanta. Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I've hung out at the after hours with like adult professionals till 5 a.m. in Atlanta. You know what I mean? And it wasn't nothing crazy. So imagine millionaires. Yeah. But Memphis, no one's moving to Memphis unless they're in the Navy.
Yeah, that is not or they work for FedEx or something.
And FedEx is dying because, other companies are really taking over.
Really?
Yeah, but we'll leave that where it's at. We don't want to talk any further.
Yeah, with Arthur. But I did have a bit of breaking news, not to cut into our basketball conversation. I know we got about 16 minutes, but Zach Robinson flying to Detroit to interview for the Lions OC job. Obviously, successful history with Jared Goff from his time there in L.A. I don't know what his capacity was because he wasn't a quarterback coach, I'm sure. Maybe he was. He could have been. He's probably like an assistant quarterback coach, I'm sure. But, just wanted to throw that out there because Rap Sheet just put it out there. And it's just like, get his ass out of here.
Well, we know he's gone because he's allowed to interview. Britt couldn't interview for Dallas. So, somebody's making some good decisions. Shout out to that consulting firm that said fire all these niggas.
Yeah, Lions fans are about to ill themselves is what somebody tweeted about.
Hey, man, we say America is the land of the free and the home of the brave, but why does somebody have to say ill themselves instead of kill themselves on social media?
Well, who knows? It could be one of those things where they don't want to get flagged, and then they're being filed because they're saying these words like
But
kill. It's like,
why are you being flagged for that? If free speech is a thing here and we now accept social media as a place to where we speak. I understand that you do not have free speech on social media. I
right,
understand. And I understand that free speech means you can't go to jail.
right,
But that is not the accepted societal standard.
right.
And especially when there's no actions behind the things that you're saying. You usually can kind of say what you want. And the fact that you can't say kill or you got to say YT for white when you're
Yeah,
talking about
that
white.
stuff's weird. I don't understand why people do that. That one's
Well, no, it's a algorithmic thing, but it's fucking up communication in the language because now people don't necessarily understand what other people are saying because they're not using the words that have definitions to describe exactly what's going on.
all this
Bro,
started with LOL.
I've got to stop watching all these fucking documentaries, dude. I've got to get back into some lighter shit.
Maybe watch a Tubi movie tonight, Lee.
No, I'm gonna watch House of Cards tonight, buddy.
Yeah,
These
I've
odds.
I've been watching movies, by the way.
By yourself?
Yeah. Because basically, I'm like, well, in order to keep myself, especially, I'm not, I watch a little basketball here and there, but like some of it's just bad. I just really don't like watching it anymore. Crazy enough, but
well, all they do is shoot threes and do layups, bro. Niggas don't want to watch
terrible.
that shit.
It's terrible. But I watched him the other day on Peacock because I didn't see it when it came out.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it, but it got a really bad rap like when it came out, which I understood because after watching it, it was like, well, because a lot of people confused it as Jordan Peele directing it when he didn't direct it. He was just a producer. But you could see his
vision,
his influence on the film for sure. But like, it's like, oh, when you watch it, you're like, yeah, this isn't a Jordan Peele film. Like you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And Marlon Wayans, I thought was pretty good in it. The kid that was in the Atlanta episode, I thought he was good as the lead role. The movie was not as bad as people said it. I don't think it was bad at all, but like it got shit on a little too hard, I think, for me. But
gotta stop listening to these internet niggas because they don't know anything.
Well, that's why I watched it. That's why I went on ahead and gave it a twirl there.
I only care about movie reviews from people that I know. And I understand their palate. I understand like how they rate certain things. You know what I mean? Like I don't know these critics. Yeah. Like the movie industry, these critics, they've killed movies like Friday. You're not gonna get a new Friday because every movie has to have certain projections before we even fucking greenlight it. You know what I'm saying? Friday, I don't know what it did at the box office, but I know they have re-rocked, resold, gave those rights here, there, and everywhere, and it's a fucking classic. Not even a cult classic. Friday is an American classic. Like, how many people do you encounter on a day-to-day that haven't seen Friday?
Not many. Certainly that are black. Not
no,
many,
bro. I mean, even white people. I ain't saying they can quote it, but like we can. But they've seen it, dog.
Yeah, it doesn't come up very much in conversation, but normally you can at least, if there's a reference from the film of any type, you can tell who's seen it or laughs, and because they'll get it, they'll know.
Nigga, bye Felicia.
Yeah,
bro, I ain't gonna hold you. I remember when I was in the
you
Marine
got
Corps.
knocked the fuck out. Yeah,
that
was really
powerful. I remember I was in the Marine Corps when bye Felicia like became like a thing that people would say.
Yeah.
And I checked one of them young niggas. I said, "Nigga, have you seen Friday? You even know where that come from?" No, I just thought it came from the internet.
Right. He's like, "No, sir."
Like, hey, big dog, go home and watch Friday. Like, you need to do that.
Hey, let's do this. We got 10 minutes. I'm gonna run through the picks, and then let's get to whatever we want to freestyle about here for culture. Which I guess that was kind of culture, but Yeah,
you're right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Parlay Pete's NFL plus the college football national championship prediction.
666. That, let me tell you, Lee, that was pretty impressive what you just did there. And gentlemen, it's great.
People don't
But
understand that I practice this more than I should.
right, right. Well, let's kick this thing off
Fuck
with
you.
going with the going with the games in order. So we got 4 o'clock Saturday, Mile High Field, Denver, Colorado. Buffalo Bills at Denver Broncos. We're going 2-for-1 in this game. There's two different things I liked about it. This is the only game where I've got two because, of course, we had to make a six-pack. I like the Denver Broncos on the money line, and I also like under 47.5. I think that the Bills, obviously, everybody knows what's at stake for them. No Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. Best chance to get it done. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know why this game is a pick 'em. I guess it's because of Bo Nix and the idea that offense isn't very good. But people need to remember that this was arguably, along with the Texans, these are pretty much the two best defenses in the NFL this season. They're at home. Sean Payton is obviously a vetted coach, although a lot of people don't realize he actually has a shitty playoff record outside of that Super Bowl year. But I like them to. They do. If you look at Seattle, they lost. I mean, not Seattle. They lost to Seattle, but New Orleans, they typically actually lost a lot of playoff games. I mean, they only went to the NFC Championship. I guess they went 3 times, but in his era there, the first year he was there with Drew Brees, and then obviously their Super Bowl year, and then the Rams game where the no pass interference got called. Nonetheless, I like the Denver Broncos to get it done here. I don't think that the Bills are healthy enough, and I also just think that they're going to suffocate Josh Allen, and I think he's a little hurt anyways. Give me the Denver Broncos on the money line, and then I also like under 47.5.
Okay.
Next, Saturday night, we get the San Francisco 49ers at the Seahawks. This was a game that wasn't very competitive. About 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago, whenever they played, 2 weeks ago, it was the last game of the season for both of them, costing the San Francisco 49ers obviously a chance to never have to leave San Francisco or San Jose, rather, or Santa Clara, actually.
Same thing.
Yeah. But give me Kyle Shanahan plus 7.5. I like the 49ers here for a bevy of reasons. Yes, I know that there's no Kittle, but people don't realize how good Tonjes has been when Kittle's been out. I don't know. I don't see them getting blown out by a team that they played now twice this year, especially that they just played 2 weeks ago. He's going to scheme up a little bit better. I like them to cover the 7.5. Give me the 49ers. Then next we got Sunday, 3:30 actually. Houston, Texas at the New England Patriots. I've kind of said it all year long. Well, not all year long, but certainly during the second half of the year. I would argue that the Patriots are probably the most balanced team in the NFL, if I'm being completely honest. They are good on both sides of the ball, and they're very well coached. Give me the New England Patriots minus 2.5. I could see Houston winning the game, but honestly, the Nico Collins injury is a concern because, again, C.J. Stroud turned the ball over 3 times, and it just so happened to be that they were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Patriots and Josh McDaniels are going to be a little bit more prepared for DeMeco Ryans. So give me the Patriots minus 2.5. Then next, we got the final game in the game that we talked about earlier that I think is going to be the most entertaining, Rams at Bears. Give me the Bears on the money line. I like them as a dog. They're a big dog. They're actually the biggest underdog, I guess, aside from the 49ers. But as a home dog at plus 170, sign me the fuck up. I think the Rams coming into a game that's going to be under 20 degrees, Matt Stafford with a broken finger, and just the idea of them going into Chicago, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why they're that big of a favorite, honestly. So give me the Bears on the money line. And then finally, our national championship game, we have got the Miami. It says Miami, Florida. The Miami Hurricanes taking on the Indiana Hoosiers for the national championship. This number has went up significantly since it opened. It opened at 7. It is now at 8.5. And I hate to say that I want to back the public here, but I'm going to back the fucking public. I still think that they're going to cover the 8.5. I wouldn't trust Carson Beck in a national championship game, even if the game's in Miami. I don't really care. Indiana's a buzzsaw. They're winning it all this year. Give me the Hoosiers minus 8.5.
All right, so we got Denver on the money line. Bills at Broncos under 47.5. San Francisco plus 7.5. New England minus 2.5. The Bears on the money line, and IU minus 8.5.
That is correct.
You like it? I love it.
And when you love it, that means it's time for
Leads
Leads 3.
3.
Leads 3.
Leads 3. All right, so for Leads 3 this week, give me that San Francisco plus 7.5. It's a division opponent.
Big number, right?
Yeah, and I know they got injuries, a lot of injuries, but it's also Sam Darnold in the playoffs. Like
that too.
I've seen Brock Purdy in the playoffs.
That too, and right, you got all the experience on one side. That other side doesn't have any experience.
No, Mike McDonald, he does, but give me New England minus 2.5. They're a really good fucking football team.
Yeah, Briggs.
And I do think IU's gonna win, but I'm just gonna put it on the table. Give me IU minus 8.5.
There you go.
That cocaine cowboy, that cocaine coon boy, he's not gonna be putting no belt to nothing. And shout out to my dog for inspiring the coon, the Miami Hurricane, because I've taken that and ran with it.
Yeah, it's a great call.
Oh yeah, no. You know what? I actually should get him on the show soon because he's a Steelers fan. Culture. The Golden Globes just happened, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Why the fuck do they do those speeches to talk about all of this important stuff when you have the resources in the network to affect it, and your speech does absolutely nothing but like make people say you gave a great speech? Celebrities just think they matter so much, like as human beings, and you only matter to the people who know you and love you. To the rest of us, you are just entertainment. And even to your biggest like super fans, they only love you for your entertainment. So like, if you're going to talk about action, be about action. I don't want to hear about you on a fucking award show that regular people don't watch, don't give a fuck about. Like, hey, nigga, I watched the movie. It was good. Hey, that motherfucker act their ass off. I like that. They were good. That's what matters to us regular folk. We don't care about your Golden Globes and how that makes you more money inside your industry. That just means we got to pay more money to watch a goddamn movie.
Or subscribe to another streaming platform. Or they up the price. Nobody cares. And like, for me, I didn't even see any of it. I knew that it happened, but like I haven't seen any.
Me neither.
On Twitter, the only clips that I saw was everybody talking about Ariana Grande and how she looks like a human again.
Oh, good for her. She's getting clean.
Well, a lot of people were saying that I'm sorry if I'm not even going to pronounce her name. Her Wicked co-star, Ivero, I think that's her name. Basically was sucking the life out of her because they did a big PR thing where they were constantly together every time.
And it seemed like Ariana Grande was her bottom.
Yeah, and that she was paler and like, people were talking about, gosh, she was already skinny, and then people were like anorexia. Like, I don't know. It was like a lot of stuff.
Have you ever been around a woman consistently who you didn't need to be around?
Yes.
Did you become a lesser version of yourself?
Yes.
All right. They suck souls in more ways than one, buddy.
Whew. That's a cold line there, Lee. Yeah, no, it's just one of those things where you just look at it and you just think, oh man.
But like, nigga, why the fuck do we care about these awards? Do we really care if our favorite rapper gets a Grammy?
No, because it doesn't change how we feel about the art form and what we listen to. Like, if Clips doesn't win Rap Album of the Year this year, I'm not going to be upset. Like, I think that it was the best rap project that did come out. But, and we talked about it the night when we heard it, which we got 60 seconds, by the way.
Hey, I've got nothing left.
That's what he said.
New Kung Fu Kenny.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week.